Okay, well, you're getting a little bit of a conflicting message. It's sort of like, should I leave it alone? Should I go for it? Should I leave it alone? So you're kind of like going back and forth, like flip-flopping back and forth as to what is the best course of action to take, which direction to go. So you're very indecisive coming through for this month. And you know, sometimes when we are inundated with a lot of choices, or even if there are only two options and we don't really know which way to go, it would be very important to consult somebody, okay? And this is somebody who is very impartial, and this is it can also be just a religious leader, a spiritual leader, or somebody who is a head of an organization, an institution. Usually this is a very religious card, and I do feel for a lot of you, you're kind of flip-flopping back and forth here, because the Death card, which indicates changes and new ways of doing, new ways of being, it's being it's right next to the sailing away card. So, and all of these things indicates to me very, very severe inner conflict that you need to work through in order for you to figure out how you want to proceed. So I'm going to pull the other last two cards. Okay, we have a jumper. Yeah, so intense inner conflict coming through. Okay, so I feel that I understand. It's interesting. Capricorn got the same card in the same position. So for a lot of you, you might be dealing with a Capricorn, or let's just go through this here. All right. So once again, at the heart of this reading is this very, very intense emotional situation where you are conflicted about how you want to proceed, okay? And I'm going to say that the decision, if you are, so Aquarius are very, very good at making decisions. So I do feel that this is basically a yes or a no type of a decision that you're taking. Do I do this? Yes or no? So I don't feel that you have like many, many decisions to make. It's just a very simple yes or no. However, it is a very emotional decision, because at the heart of it, we have all these cups energy. So this is something that maybe you're not comfortable with, or it could just be a decision that is there's so much at stake. There is so much emotional happiness at stake. There is so much where, you know, where the other person and you feel so greatly about one another that you don't really want, you want the status quo. You don't want to make any changes and risk destabilizing that emotional stability. Okay, so this is a very difficult position that you find yourself in, and I'm going to say that it's actually not that difficult of a decision. So the first things here is, whatever you decide to do, it seems like the two options are both very, very good, okay? So you're walking away from one situation that brought in emotional bliss and happiness, and you're going to the next situation, which is bringing about a very strong karmic connection, a very strong, even like a soulmate connection. So I don't feel that you're going to have any troubles. I do feel that whoever this person is, where you feel this, you know, very strong emotional connection with, emotionally you're connected, but I do feel ideologically, or even on a philosophical level, there might be, you know, just disagreements overall, and you're starting to feel like, well, I don't know if I want to put up with this, mainly because, you know, if we don't see eye to eye on many of life's issues and many of life's like philosophies, how will we have anything stable in the future? Well, the cards are advising you that, you know, sometimes you don't have to be the exact replica of another person, and the other person doesn't always have to agree with you. It's actually the complementarities that make the relationship interesting, and it's the complementarities that allow people to learn from one another when they choose to get into relationships with somebody who's very different from them, okay? So I do sense that this is something that you're grappling with. At the same time, I'm sensing here as well, there is definitely a figure from your past. This is a past relationship partner that is trying to come back into your life. And I'm going to say here, for a lot of you, it can be a water sign, okay? This is a past person coming into your life. So this is somebody that you were once romantically involved with. For those of you who are single or coupled right now, whatever the case is, I'm going to warn you against that past energy trying to come into your life, because what I'm sensing here is that we have the Star card, which is, you know, being spiritually guided, and where you have walked from a very dark situation and you walked into the light, okay? When it's in the reverse position like this, and especially coming out so early in the beginning of the month, I feel that a lot of you have done, you know, spiritual healing, cleansing, what have you, and you are kind of like almost done doing the work on yourself. And then this figure decides to come back, and it's sort of like, it seems to me very, very cyclical. So if you've been hurt in the past and someone, you know, whoever it was that hurt you is trying to come back, just take some time off from it and not deal with that at all. Because I feel like you've done a lot of healing. And you're at a very good point in your life where, you know, things are going exactly the way that you anticipated. And you're in a very good place right now where you feel good about yourself. You're feeling confident. You're comfortable in your own skin. And it's kind of like that last leg of the journey of the healing process. And then this person decides to come back. So for a lot of you, I'm going to advise against that. Okay? They might not be a bad person, but it's just that finish that healing work first, and then come back to this situation when you are a little bit more emotionally well. Okay, so that would be my advice. Going back to a situation is not advisable. All right, you're flip-flopping here, and I do sense that this is just something that makes you really uncomfortable, because I'm sensing here that once an Aquarius, it's a fixed sign, once an Aquarius makes up their mind what they want to do, it's very simple, but the process of making up your mind is what's throwing you for a loop, because it's an emotional decision and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed here, okay? So seek advice from a spiritual leader. Find that, you know, talk to your spirit guides. Tell them to give you some sort of insight in your dreams if you need to find whatever it is that, to find the closure or to find the guidance that you need, all right? I do feel a lot of indecisiveness, flip-flopping back and forth, inner conflicts coming through. And then, you know, I don't even sense the mental energy plaguing you. I do feel this is more of an emotional energy, but I don't feel that you're emotionally rattled. It's almost as if, you know, in the past, especially November, December even, or in the past, you feel like, okay, things are not going the way that I want. And now that everything is starting to come full circle, where you're starting to get everything coming into your life in the order that you want, and you're starting to feel very emotionally happy, you don't quite trust it. It seems that way to me. A lot of you might just be in a position where you are getting a love offer from somebody who is, you know, in it for the long haul, okay? They might want a very long-term committed relationship with you. So I'm definitely feeling this for a lot of you. This is a card about commitment here with the Six of Cups, which indicates a very faded karmic relationship. On top of the Hierophant, which indicates to me, you know, it is going to happen. So for a lot of you, you might be thinking about marriage, or you might get an offer of marriage. For a lot of you, I do sense that coming through, where you have an opportunity here to decide. And once again, that is not a light decision, or it's not something that we can just decide on a whim. Okay, really think about it. If that is something that you're grappling with, then this makes perfect sense, because like I said, it is a very emotional decision, and it is not something that you want to make lightly. And once again, I do feel that Aquarius are somewhat of commitment phobes, so it might be that the whole freedom commitment syndrome coming through that you have to grapple with. Okay, it seems to me as if for a lot of you, you feel like you've done so much growth, so much movement, and it seems like life is coming back full circle. It's sort of like we go off and we try to do things, and then we end up where we started. Not in the spirit of not in the spirit of all for nothing, but it's that you go off and you're hoping to find something in your life, and you feel like in the process of trying to find yourself, or in the process to find what it is that you feel that you're missing, it has been right in front of you the whole time. So January is going to be a month where you start to see that whatever you were looking for was right there. You were just so adamant, or you had like a vision in your mind what it should look like, and you basically overlooked what was right there. Okay, so it's a little bit of an irony coming in for January, and it's forcing you to re-examine things that are literally right in front of your face. Okay, so this is a month also where you might need to take care of things on a practical level. Okay, because I do feel all this emotional energy coming in, it is very fruitful, and it makes you feel good, but I do sense that practicality is going to be required of you. I do sense as well it is going to be quite a busy energy, so this is something you want to keep in mind for just to keep yourself focused, and just to get all your responsibilities taken care of. Okay, so that you're not I'm also sensing a lot of communication from far away, especially with people from overseas and things like that. So there might be miscommunication. And once again, January does bring an opportunity for people from our past to come back because of the Mercury in retrograde. It can also create communication problems or communication blockages between people. So that is something to anticipate, but I definitely do feel that for a lot of you, the Mercury retrograde energy is basically telling you that you started on a journey, and from A to B, and what ends up happening is that you feel like getting to B is going to drastically change your life, but getting to B was just the next step. And you feel that the journey is not complete yet, but you were able to find a lot of the things. You were able to figure out that things were right there all along. Okay, so this is a confirmation here that you're on the right track and you're going the right way. So I want you to take the time this month to really connect with your spirit guides, to really ask for that, guidance in the confirmation. This is a month in which signs and signals are in abundance all around you, because we do have some very, very heavy hitters that indicates to me, divine protection, divine guidance coming through in a spiritual sense. So I definitely sense that doing some meditation, keeping your eyes peeled for, I keep hearing things are right in front of you. Okay, you don't have to leave the house, you don't even have to go very far to find exactly what it is that you're looking for, because it's literally right in front of you. So it's all this flip-flopping around that you're confusing yourself, So once you figure out what you want to do, and once you figure out who it is that you want to be with, the person is literally right in front of you. So that's the really strong message that I want to get across for Aquarius, because I'm sensing that you're exerting so much energy, scrambling around and running around, trying to find whatever it is that will bring you that total emotional happiness when it's actually right there. And you're trying to like it's almost as if you're trying to find the person, the ideal person, to fit into. So you have a mold here, okay, of the ideal person or the ideal situation, the ideal job, whatever it could be, it may be. And you're trying to find the object or the person to fit into that mold, and you're trying multiple things, and you're kind of wearing yourself out. So just calm down a little bit, and the whatever it is that you're looking for is actually going to be right there. So I can't emphasize that enough. So just take it easy. When we take a step back and trust that the universe will deliver, the universe will deliver. Okay, so that's the ultimate advice here. For those of you who are out there dating, I definitely feel that you are going to get a lot of serious suitors. So that means, you know, people vying for your attention, first of all. Okay, a lot of competition. But I do feel that the competition is not coming in from the person that you like. I do feel the competition is coming through from the people that like you. So there is definitely a lot of people who have who are making, you know, the gesture of love, or who are giving you an offer of love and friendship even, but I feel very greatly love is indicated, and they are in it for the long haul. So I just want you to keep that in mind. You're dealing with people who are very serious, who have serious intentions. So make sure you also have serious intentions, and that you don't give them mixed signals, or that you're not playing with their hearts. Okay, so that's the first thing. Secondly, I'm going to say that the past energy, especially just you know, especially if you've been dealing with a water sign, okay? So Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, if you've been dealing with a water sign who is trying to come back, you really, I feel that this person is very adamant about getting you to hear what they have to say, or getting you back into their life, or promising, or even painting a very idealistic, blissful image just to get you to come back. But I don't feel you're going to fall for it. And I just want to say that, you know, you don't have to feel guilty about giving somebody an explanation. Okay, if the relationship has been very problematic, and you feel as if the whole letting go and getting over that person, the whole process has been very painful, and you feel like it's still a raw spot, give yourself the time off. You don't need to explain things to them now. You can do it later if you feel like it. But when a relationship ends, it is important for, while it is important for both parties to find closure with one another and within that relationship, if you can't, if you feel like the timing is not right, then don't, you know, don't bother, don't do it, okay? Wait until the whole healing process has taken place, and then you can, you know, come back and re-engage in that situation when you're not so emotionally, I guess, like invested in it. When you're able to detach yourself a little bit, you're able to converse with one another and have that communication where, you know, things don't have to be a battle. Things can be smooth, okay? So just, you don't have to resolve anything. You don't owe anybody an explanation. So don't do it if you're not ready, okay? So Aquarius, I do sense as well, this is going to be a really good month. And for those of you who are in stable relationships, I even feel that the relationship is going to the next level here with a very serious commitment. This can just be, you know, getting engaged, or physically getting married, moving in together, taking the relationship to the next step, where both parties are pretty much sure that they want to be together, okay? For those of you who are single, like I said, Get out there and circulate, because there is a very, very strong soul connection coming through from another person. I feel like for the past few months, you've been getting a lot of lovers card and things like that, like a lot of very positive cards. I didn't do the December reading, and I apologize, but I don't know what you would have gotten in December, but I definitely feel something is coming in for you. And it's the universe works in very mysterious and strange ways, but it's sort of like, I feel that for most of us, when we want something and that thing is right there, the universe tends to test us to see if that's what we really want, usually by bringing up obstacles or bringing up people from the past, so that you can do a comparison. So that's something that I've seen happen many, many times. And I feel like that's what's happening here, because there is something here that you really, really want. And it is everything that you've hoped for. It can be a person. I feel like it's a relationship because of all the cups energy. But there is something that is difficult to overcome about it. So you're going to have to be creative and figure this one out. But I do feel it is a very fruitful, it can be a companionship, friendship, or a relationship. And I feel a relationship is greatly indicated here. So not only does the universe throw in this curveball for you to make sure that you really want it, or for you to be sure that this is something that you really want, and then you're going to be able to overcome this obstacle. It's also bringing up somebody from your past so that you can lay both people side by side, and then you can decide for yourself if this new thing is something that you really, really want, okay? So it's a new energy coming through. Do away with the past. I don't feel it's going to be in your best interest to re-engage, okay? So make up your mind what you want to do, and don't waste time this month, because I do feel that, once again, if you're watching this, by the way, try to not do anything, make major drastic decisions during the Mercury in retrograde period, okay? But everything else should be fine. But I do sense that you just need to make up your mind so that you're not flip-flopping back and forth and being indecisive, because it seems to me like it's a very uncomfortable place for you to be. So have a very, very wonderful month, Aquarius.